Hello friends, this is Durga from ITversity. If you're watching over YouTube and if this is your first session, this is for ongoing training for US graduates who are graduating this summer. The program name is nothing but Data Engineering Bootcamp. So today I will walk them through the labs so that they can actually practice leveraging the labs. I have sent the lab access details and they should have received the email. I will just walk them through how to set up lab access, and also if there are any issues I will troubleshoot if possible, and also I will walk through how the content will be so that they're comfortable in using the lab. That being said, let me open a browser here. So those who joined from Zoom, especially the today's session, you make sure that you use Slack to communicate. I will keep an eye on Slack and I will try to resolve any of your issues. Don't ping on Zoom because there might be some issues which we have to catch up after the session. We will not be losing track if you actually start posting the questions over Slack. That being said, so I have an interface called as Labs Admin, where only our staff have access to. And typically, I give access to the people who are enrolled for my live trainings by using this interface. So I go here, I click on the batch, I give the email ID, let's say dga or d.gadiraju at itversity.in. It is my personal ID using my India company domain. And now I should be able to click on add users and I will receive an email. Let me log into the email and then I will walk you through how the email will look like. Already some people have complained or raised the issue that they haven't received the email to complete the sign up process. You might have got two emails and I will actually walk you through how that email will be and how you can complete the sign up process. And also after this, I will give you a link over Slack where you have to fill the form. The reason why you have to fill the form is by default, you will be getting access to one of the gateway nodes which we provide for our paid subscribers, which are nothing but GW02 and GW03. However, for this batch, I have additional gateway node and I want to add each of you to the additional gateway node so that I can impersonate like you and troubleshoot your issues if you run into any issues. It will streamline the support process. If people did not get the email, then probably you might not have joined the session with the same email ID using which you want to get the access, or you might not have joined the session at all. So I took the emails from the Zoom reports and I have granted access only to those who actually attended at least one live session in the last last four sessions. Okay, so I will get your email ID, Sushil, as part of the Slack, and I will see where the issue is. Actually, you can ping your email ID or Slack. It is visible only to this group, so it is fine. You just ping your email ID, and I will see what can be done with your email ID. I will first review, and then I will take it further. That being said, I might give you access after the session by validating. You might not get the access immediately. So keep an eye or be attentive through this video so that you will be able to use the lab effectively once you get the access. If you could not follow, you can actually uh, come back to this video in YouTube and you should be able to follow. That being said, now let me actually log in into that account and then I will actually open the email and I will show you. So I'm logging into my Gmail account using that ID and password. So now you see, you should have got an email saying IT Varsity Labs sign up subject. Okay, not this one. There should be one more email. Actually, there should be one more email. Let me see. Interesting. Let me check that email. Even Khalifa got only one email. Ideally, there should be two emails. Let me check the spam. Nothing is in spam. Okay, probably I might have the account already for my website. That's why I would not have got an email. Same is the case with you, Khalifa. Probably you might have signed up to labs.itvarsity.com earlier with the same email ID. And hence you might not have got the other email to sign up. But for those who actually sign up for the first time, they should have got the email. Let me actually see if I have any other email ID. Let me see. Most likely this should not be there. So if you are familiar with Gmail, you can put dot anywhere or full stop anywhere, and you can actually create multiple email IDs for one account. So I'm using this additional email ID, which is nothing but dgadi.raju@itvarsity.in, and it will actually send email to the same account. Let me see if I get two emails this time. I did not even got the email. Interesting. How come? Probably there could be some bug. Let me see what it says. I can search. Yeah. Probably it might went to the spam. No, it is not even in spam. Typically, I should get the email. Let me see. No, I'm not getting the emails. Probably there could be some issue, but typically whenever I give new email ID, I should have got the email ID. So I will actually troubleshoot this issue, or I will engage my team if you do not get the email. But most likely, Khalifa, you can try logging in using labs.itvarsity.com. Already you might have the account, and when I say you might have account, you might have account to the website. So this is our main website, and you will be getting access to this. Okay. At this time, I am already logged in with whatever user I am logged in to labs.admin. I can sign out from here. There seems to be some issue actually with my website. It should not take this long. Okay, I know the problem. I think I have to open in incognito mode. How come it is saying not secure? Okay, I have to troubleshoot this issue. It should not say not secure. I actually secured this. Let me open with Chrome. Yeah, there seems to be some issue with my website. I might have to troubleshoot this issue. Typically, you can also sign up directly, even before giving the access. Some of you might already have the account. If you already have the account, you will just log in with your existing account, and then you should be able to see few details. Let me walk you through how it will look like. So you might end up on this page. What you have to do is you have to expand this, and you can actually go to lab. I don't know who is this who unmuted, and it is not working. When I try to mute, it is not working. Yeah, now it worked. Let me disallow participants to unmute themselves. Okay, so typically you might end up on this page, but you can actually expand if you got the access and click on lab. It will take you to a lab page. There it will ask you to enter the username and password. For some reason it is not working. Let me see. There seems to be some issue with my website. What about others? Typically, they have multiple accounts open. Sometimes it behaves weird. Is everything facing the issue?
No, sir, I was able to access the lab.
Okay. Thank you. So typically, once you get access, let me log out from here and use my standard account. Okay. The problem with Google Gmail will be it uses the same account automatically. Sorry, Chrome will be it uses the same account automatically. Let me open private window or incognito window. Okay, now I am logged into the lab page. You can see here labs.itversity.com/user/lab. If you don't see this, you can actually expand this and you can click on lab. So our website is nothing but a entry point to the lab. So the by going to labs.itversity.com, you will not be able to access the lab directly. You will get credentials to connect to the lab. You can see here, once you go to the lab page, once you complete the sign up process, you will get the username, password, and console. So the console might be GW02 for some people and GW03 for a few other people. So in my case, it is GW02, and the username is itversity. Password is hidden. If we click on the password, it will be copied to the clipboard. Now you see the console here. You can click on this, and it will open up the Jupyter-based environment. You can enter the username and password here. So the username is nothing but whatever it is here. You can copy that, and you should be able to paste. For few people who haven't completed the sign up process for the lab account, even after giving the access, you might see a text box where you have to enter the username for the lab, and then you have to click on create. It will then redirect you to this page. It will take care of several actions on our lab, and then it will give you the credentials, and those credentials are generated by us, and we will always provide you the credentials using this password button. If you click on it, it will be copied into the clipboard. Click on these two buttons, you will get username and password into the clipboard. If you want to copy paste the gateway node, you have to click on this. If you click on this link, it will automatically redirect you to the appropriate gateway node. Now you can copy this username and paste it here, and then you can copy the password. and paste it here. Okay, if you have cookies enabled, you don't need to go to labs.itverse.com again and again to get the credentials. You have to do it only for the first time. Once you go there, you will get something like this. You might not have anything the way I have here. Let me actually delete. I don't know whether it will let me to delete. Yeah, it will not, because there are few files. I have to clean up everything. You might not see anything here. You will only see these things. These are nothing but different kernels: Python, PySpark, Spark with Scala, Spark with SQL, etc. So to learn Python, you can use this notebook. Use this kernel and create notebook, and you can take it further. So already I have created several Python notebooks. You should be able to use those things and take it further. You don't need to start from scratch. How will you get access to those notebooks? There are multiple ways. Using the whatever gateway node that is being used here, GW02 or GW03, you can, instead of redirecting from here, whatever you get, you can copy from here, and then you can open the tab and you can paste that and hit enter. It will actually take you to the gateway node. You can see here, because my username and password are part of cookies, automatically you are able to access the Jupyter based environment. This is called as Jupyter Lab. On the left, you can create as many notebooks as you want, and you can practice. It's like writing the notebook to learn coding. However, instead of writing on a paper, you will be using the Jupyter notebook interface, and you should be able to practice. This is one very effective way of learning Python. Nowadays, we can actually learn many other programming languages also using the Jupyter notebook, at least the core programming aspects of it. That being said, some of you might get access to gw02.itversity.com. Some of you might have got access to gw03.itversity.com. I will now circulate a form. Whoever completed this, you have to enter the username, password. When I say password, you have to copy paste only this password. Don't enter your Gmail password or Facebook password or the password which is used for the local signup of labs.itverse.com. You need to make sure that the account is set up. You have to enter this username and this password, and also a gateway node. Let me walk you through the form, and then I will circulate the form in Slack, and you should be able to fill the form. If there are any questions over Slack, I will take those questions in a moment. So one of the guy is saying he haven't received the email for Zoom meeting today. As I have been highlighted before, so Slack is your primary mode of communication. You have to keep an eye on Slack more than anything else. I try to send email today, but there seems to be some issue with respect to Zoom and Google Calendar integration, and I could not. That's why I just posted the link in the Slack, and I also made that statement earlier. So going forward, make sure that you keep an eye on Slack all the time. That is the primary mode of communication for us. I will even stop sending the calendar invites after a week or so, once everyone is comfortable with Slack. That is to answer the question from Maniket or someone. I think he deleted the message. No, actually, it's there as part of a thread. That being said, those who haven't received, they pinged the email IDs. I will have a look at it after concluding this session. For now, let me share the form. First, let me walk you through the form, and then I will take it further. I'm opening the form. So this is the form. The email address will be automatically be populated. You don't need to enter the email ID. You can say whether you have completed the sign up process or not. If you say yes, then it will ask you to provide lab details. You can actually select the gateway node of the cluster, the lab account. For lab account, you have to go to that labs.itversity.com/user/lab, and you have to copy the lab account from there and also password from there. So once you complete the form, I will automate the process, and you will actually get the notebooks here. You see here, there is a module called as Python for Data Engineering. The module name might be different. You will get the notebooks directly like this with respect to everything related to Python. Okay, so I will take care of that by tomorrow. Then you should be able to go to the appropriate module, and you should be able to practice. Okay, so for example, if you want to learn about collections and tuples, you can go here and you can actually go to the content, and you should be able to practice. There's a lot of content, code snippets, etc., which will actually explain what they are. And also there are videos corresponding to them. Those videos are part of that Python playlist, which I have shared across to you already. So for those who are part of the Slack, if you go to the pinned items, so as part of the pinned items, you should be able to see. Let me open that. I think it is link from the second link or third link from the last. Yeah, it is the second link from the last. As part of the pinned items, you see the Python playlist. You can go there, and you should be able to relate to the material I have shared with the live session. And then you should be able to watch the content also if you are interested to watch the videos. I will also try to get these links of these videos into the material probably sometime later, so that the videos are also available as part of the notebooks itself, and you don't need to come here to watch. There are some challenges with respect to that. I need to figure out. If I'm able to, then I will provide the video content also along with the text content. Okay, so this is how you should be able to access. I will give you some time to actually fill the form. Once everyone fill the form, then I will take it further. Let me share the link with you guys. So I'm pasting the link as part of the Slack. So those who haven't completed, even you should be filling the form. You just have to say no. And then I should be able to follow up with you folks. First, I will validate whether you are joining the sessions. If you have any genuine reason, you can actually tell me that you are following the live videos after this, pre-recorded videos after this session. I will take it as an exception, and I will take care of the lab access for you. For those who don't, who did not join this session live, but who are typically joining all the sessions, just fill the form. If you run into any issues with respect to the lab access, I will take care of fixing your issues. Okay. So let me know if you have any challenges filling the form. I will take care of the issues. I think few people are typing. Probably there might be some. Yeah, you guys should be able to fill the form. Any challenges?
Hello, sir. This is Venkat here. I'm Venkat here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sir, I already got access to the GW02 lab as part of data engineering course, bootcamp course.
Yeah.
So, would you recommend me to use that or create a new email ID for the lab access?
No, you can use the same account.
Sure, sir. Okay.
You just fill the form with the username and password, and I will give you the lab access. Means
okay,
I will add your account on GW01 also. So everyone should be logging in GW01. The reason why I'm doing this is it will make my life easier to maintain the notebooks under your accounts. Even if you run into any issues with respect to the material, I can impersonate like you on gw01.itverse.com, and I should be able to troubleshoot the issues and fix the issues. It will streamline the communication between the students and mentors to support. At least till you learn Python, Spark, etc. With respect to the APS, before start implementing using IDEs, you should follow the Jupyter Notebooks approach just to learn core programming aspects. But the actual application development should be done using PyCharm, which I will be walking through at a later point in time.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Name in the lab account, sir.
What is that?
Is it username in the lab account?
Is it username in the lab account? Yeah. The lab account ID, whatever you type for your lab access, whatever account name you gave, when it prompts you when you actually log in for the first time, you have to share those details. Is it clear? You just copy paste the lab ID from the labs.itverse.com under lab account. So once you log into the labs.itverse.com, so the you just click on this to copy the account ID, lab account ID, and just paste it. So in case you run into any issues with respect to lab, I will share the email ID, not the email ID, but the contact for any support with respect to accessing anything over the lab. So if you actually start searching for ITversity, you see there are few folks who are from ITversity. So with respect to lab access, you should tag Hemant. He will take care of addressing any of the issues for you. Okay, so what are those issues he will take care? Not the coding issues, but let's say your password is expired or you are not able to use the password, or something might be down when you start learning using the labs. Any technical issues with respect to the lab, Hemant will coordinate with the other support members and he will take care. He will not be able to support any coding related issues. There are other folks also who are from ITversity as part of this group. You can just search for ITversity like this, and you will get some idea. So Shubham is the one who can support you up to an extent with respect to Python and Spark, but I will also be there for you. You can tag me in case if there is any serious issue with respect to Python, Spark, Kafka, etc. Okay, it seems people have submitted the details, many of you. There are few folks who did not get the lab access. I will make sure I will review their status and I will take care. Okay, so that being said, even if you could not get the content from me, if you want to use others' content also, you can take care. You can start leveraging that. Let me connect to the gateway node here. Okay, for example, now I am logged in as using one of my account, and if you want to learn anything related to Python outside my material, you can go to GitHub or something, or you can search for Python notebooks from anywhere, and you should be able to upload the document and you can take it further. How to upload? You go here, you can say file. Let me see, where is that upload option? Yeah, actually the way upload will work is you just download the Python, the Jupyter notebooks from wherever you get, and you just drag and drop into this. So the Python notebook, which is local for you, you can drag and drop into this and you can take it further. Okay, and also as part of this, let's say sometimes you want to connect to the terminal and run some Linux commands. How to take care of it? You just go to file, go to new, click on terminal, and you will be on the Linux terminal, and you should be able to take care of you should be able to take care of running Linux commands here. Okay, you can actually say uname -a to get the operating system details, and you should be able to take care of running any Linux commands here. So this is how you should be able to use the gateway node and take it further. Okay, as I have mentioned to you earlier, if you just want to use your new notebook, you can create a separate directory for it, or you can go to the home directory by clicking on this, and then you should be able to say file new notebook, and you can choose the kernel here. So if you are practicing Python at this time, you just choose Python here, and then you can say select. You can actually rename this, let's say getting started. Okay, so these are called as cells. You should be able to leverage these cells to write the code, or if you want to make notes, you can use something called as Markdown editor. You can select the Markdown editor, and you can use Markdown syntax, and it will render using HTML. So let's say I want to say getting started. Let us understand how to get Python version and also develop Hello World program. Okay, for Hello World program, create new cell and type print hello world. I have to enclose it in single quote or double quote. In Python, you can pass string either by using single quote or double quote. In this case, I'm using single quote. For getting Python version, we can use the following code snippet. So just in case if you want to get some notes around your code, you can use this approach. From platform, import Python version, print Python version. Okay, now if you run this, and now it is a bit highlighted differently. There is a way to beautify further, but for now I'm not taking it very seriously. It will not get the way it should be when we actually paste code snippets as part of the Markdown in Jupyter. There is a way to improvise on it, but I don't want to get into those details at this time. Just I want to demonstrate how we can leverage the same Markdown features which we have seen with respect to the Slack as part of this to create reference material for our stuff. Now I copied that and pasted it here. It actually gave the Python version, and also for hello world, I can just say print hello world by copy pasting this. Okay, so this is how you should be able to type the code and run. So for running, you can actually say I think command enter or control enter. If you run if you use control enter, it will run it will run the code in the cell, and it will keep the context with that cell itself. If you want to run the code and if you want to create a new cell after that, you just have to hit shift enter. Both shift enter and control enter are to run the cells. However, control enter will keep the context on the same cell, whereas shift enter will take it to the next cell, or it will create a new cell if there is no next cell. Okay, so that is how you can use shortcuts and you can run this. You can also go to a particular cell and you should be able to click on this to run. If you want to copy, there are some shortcuts. You can just right click and you can see all the shortcuts to copy the cells, cut the cells and paste the cells. You can also delete the cell using double D. You can split a cell. Splitting the cell and all are not important, but at least these three are handy commands if you want to develop a big notebook for whatever reason. So make sure you are comfortable with this, and try to leverage the features of Jupyter Notebook to practice the core programming aspects of Python. However, Python is not typically used for the actual web application or data engineering application or data pipeline development. It is primarily to learn the core programming aspects of Python. When it comes to data science, it is quite popular because most of the work with respect to data science can be ad hoc in nature. Once they come up with a notebook, typically they will hand it over to the application developers if application developers have to make it part of the actual applications. But most of the work by data scientists typically be done in interfaces like Jupyter Notebook in a collaborative way. Okay. So that being said, if you are aspiring for data science, Jupyter Notebook is used quite widely. But even otherwise, if you just want to learn core programming aspects of it, you should be familiar with Jupyter Notebook. On top of the Python code, you can also run shell commands, and also there are so many magic commands in Jupyter Notebook. One of the magic command I use is time. So time will actually tell how much time it took to execute a particular cell. As part of the JDBC programming, I have used quite extensively to compare the performance using different approaches with respect to JDBC programming. So that's where percentage time comes into picture. If you want to run any Linux commands without opening the terminal, you can use this magic command called as %sh. And if you are familiar with the Linux commands, you should start using those Linux commands here. For example, in this case, let's say I want to get the operating system details. I can say uname -a like this with magic command %sh, and I'm able to see the operating system details. You can run almost all the valid Linux commands here. Okay, so these are some of the aspects which you should be familiar with to make use of Jupyter Notebook a lot more effectively to accelerate your learning. Okay, so any questions so far? There seems to be a few questions as part of the chat. Venkat said, okay, I think I have answered already. What is the lab account, sir? Is it username? Yeah, I have already answered, Abram. I think it is clear for you now. Let me add Aniket and Vinod, the two panelists. If you don't have any questions, that's it for today. Make sure you you take care of the lab access. Who is this annotating? Don't annotate, okay? Let me clear this. I need to make sure that I disable the annotation access everyone before the session itself. It might be accident or people might be deliberately doing it. I don't know. Anyway, so I disabled now. People will not be able to annotate. So any questions with respect to lab or Jupyter Notebook? And I will take care of giving you access to gwzone.itverse.com. You have to use the same username and password. So you'll get access with the same username and password. I have some scripts. I just have to improvise for this batch, and I will take care of granting the lab access for you. Okay. Okay, then thank you. And tomorrow I'll be conducting a Linux workshop, especially those who are completely new for Linux platform. Those who are interested in learning some of the crucial Linux commands which we use quite frequently, be part of that session. It will definitely add a lot of value, and you will be you will start feeling a bit comfortable working in Linux environment. If you are using Mac, most of the commands can be run as part of the Mac itself. If you are using Windows, already we have Ubuntu based server provisioned from GCP. In case if you don't have enough capacity in your system, you should be able to use it to practice quite a lot of Linux. Or you can also create a Docker container on your Windows if you don't have the GCP account. And if you haven't started creating containers, provisioning VMs from GCP, you can still use the Docker setup on your Windows or especially the Windows machines. As part of that, there is a way to actually get into the Unix or Linux based containers. We have to pull a Linux based container and get into that Linux based container, and we should be able to practice quite a lot of Linux commands using that. So I will walk you through all those details as part of an extended session tomorrow. I'm planning to conduct between 4 to 7, and we'll try to learn quite a bit of Linux. So those whoever is interested for that, please do join. If you are already good at Linux, you don't need to join. But even if you have some knowledge of Linux and if you want to get a quick refresher, feel free to join that session and try to practice while the session is going on. And if you have any questions, you can ask me those questions. It is an interactive session. I will try to troubleshoot and help you so that you are really comfortable with Linux. Okay. And this is a very important session for new folks who haven't or who are not very comfortable with Linux. I will make sure that you are a bit comfortable with Linux after tomorrow's session. Okay. As I have mentioned to you earlier, I will be segregating the resources into blue and red starting from next week, based on the review of whatever you have done so far by writing SQL queries, and also dashboard I'm not taking very seriously, but the SQL queries I will have a look at it and the quality of the SQL queries you have developed. And also I will again conduct a survey, so feel free to fill the survey with accurate information. That will give me an idea whom I should actually graduate to blue. Others who are not very comfortable with some of the topics give the accurate answer. I will start conducting these workshops over the weekends to bring you up to speed. Okay. So that being said, that's it for today. We will catch up tomorrow as part of the Linux workshop. I will circulate the invite very soon. One more thing, actually, to practice Linux, you can also start leveraging the lab. You will not be able to run any admin related commands, but simple commands such as ls to list the files. You should be able to create directories, create files in it, and also you should be able to explore certain commands which can be leveraged to manipulate the data in the files and all. Okay, so you can leverage the lab also, even if you don't have Linux based environment anywhere. Our lab is based on Linux only, and you should be able to leverage it, and you should be able to practice. Okay, so you can practice live. It can support quite a lot of people simultaneously, at least 20-25 people. But if you are using GCP, I would highly recommend you to start that GCP based VM and start practicing there rather than just using the lab. Those who don't have GCP for whatever reason, or those who haven't provisioned VM from GCP for whatever reason, you guys can leverage the gateway node, either GW02 or GW03. And also, most likely by tomorrow, I will get you access to GW01. You should be able to log in GW01 also. Okay. That being said, let's catch up tomorrow for Linux session. Bye.